We're out at the farm today because we have sprung a leak in one of the irrigation drip lines. So today we're going to kind of walk you through patching that as well as showing you a little bit of the system. And that all starts with firing up the generator. So we've already gassed it up. We already put the stabilizer in. We've got the well switch off. So we're gonna throw it onto choke here, start her up. And then we'll pop over to the switch, let it run for 15, 20 seconds, and you'll be able to hear the difference when it kicks on. All right, so that'll take, I don't know, 5 minutes or so to fill all the lines. While that's going, we can head over here and I can kind of show you what we have. So the system starts right off where we were at, where the generator is. We got the well pump and the well head, and then it tees off going to the south orchard and then all the way across to the north orchard, where it again tees off to go all the way down on both ends. We've got about 750 feet of 2-inch PVC feeding all these drip lines, and then every 12 feet or so where the rows start, we've got a drip line coming out heading down the tree rows. We've got about a mile of drip line itself, and this is your typical orchard drip line where we've got 2-foot emitters that create kind of like a watered patch all the way down the tree row. So we'll give the system a minute or two to fill up, and then we'll go over to where we have a leak and show you that.
How did you catch that it was leaking?
You could hear it, and you could see the water shooting out. Just walking around. I don't know why it's marked there. Maybe that's another smaller leak.
Oh, right here.
Oh yeah, so that's a smaller one. That's why that's marked. And then,
Further down.
yeah, you can hear it. And then here's the big leak, which I tried taping. Obviously, it didn't really work.
Okay.
So the reason this is punctured is because this section is actually the last of a spool, and it was probably one of the worst pieces at the end of the spool. It had a lot of kinks in it that we tried to, get out of it, but apparently some of the kinks were just too bad and they were punctured. What we're gonna do is basically, oh look.
Oh gosh.
So what we'll do is we'll cut the line right here, and we have these easy twist connectors. We'll pop on, grab a new piece of drip line, and we'll be good to go. So these are about 30 feet sections. So this is just more than half, so it's probably about 20 feet there, 30 feet there, and another 5 feet towards the end. So we probably got about 55-foot piece, but we'll bring out a full length piece and we'll just cut it to size. So let's go hit the trailer and get the supplies we need. So I've got the cutting tool already. So all we need really is a connection piece and or drip line. Watch out.
I got it.
So this is our leftover spool.
What's the blue one?
That's just irrigation line, so it doesn't have holes in it. I'm caught on something here. So luckily I have a bunch of these left over, and all we have to do is put on one end, put on the other, twist them tight. So this should be a pretty quick and easy fix. We've already turned the water off, so we'll grab our tools and head over there. What's really nice about these drip emitter lines, is they got the clips already on the tubing, which is a time saver for sure. All right.
What do you use to cut it?
This tool in here. I can feel it's heavy, has water in it. Save this clip for this section here. So we just push these on and then twist. Piece of cake. I'll wait for that clip. Now we gotta unclip this. At the end, we have these little clamp pieces. So we'll go ahead and save that and use it for the end of this one. Those will kink the end from leaking, wasting water. Got a little bird poop on me. All right, so this
Does it matter which end?
will be slightly complicated because unspooling it isn't usually very easy. So if you want to unspool, I'll do that end this way. And you got that kink piece. We'll just cut it and then I'll put it on. It'll be easier to go this way. So I do have a little bit of slack down there. So cut right in between the emitter holes. Got a foot there, there, and then the green line is where the emitters come out, so you want that to be towards the bottom. Push it together, twist it tight, and then we just snap on. And then we do want to twist it so the green is towards the bottom. Oh, careful, got an apple right here.
Are you gonna have double the?
So on a fresh clip, put it in, pull it tight, and then the green was on the top there, so we want to rotate it towards the bottom. Clip it on. Clip, spin so the green's at the bottom. Yeah,
It's not gonna fit.
yeah, it's too close, so I'll just leave it. When we did all of these, oh my gosh, my thumbs were raw from clipping these on. But it'll have to work. Voila. Now we fire up the generator, push the water through, make sure we have no leaks. for any of those out there that are curious, what we have for our well setup here is a 5-inch pipe going about 200 feet exactly down to the water table. And that pump down there is just a constant pressure pump that does between 30 and 40 gallons per minute. When we first started pulling water from here, the PSI was right around 80 to 90, which is a little too much for our system. We wanted it to be somewhere between 50 and 60. So that's why we have this, basically a pressure relief tank that will turn the pump on and off as that pressure grows and builds. So once it reaches, I think it's somewhere around, when this pump pressure reaches somewhere around 120 PSI, and this is just a 4-gallon tank, when it reaches 120 PSI, turns off the pump so the pump doesn't burn up. And then once it reaches back down to 80 or so, kicks the pump back on. It's something around 1.5 to 30 seconds on and off, which we know isn't great, but until we have our full orchard set up, in the coming years, it will just have too much pressure in the system itself. But as we expand trees, like for instance, we want to get probably another 100 trees or so for the spring. Once we expand trees and expand drip lines, that PSI will drop down, and we won't have as much of an issue with the pressure coming from the pump. But we didn't want to go too small, and then we didn't have enough water for the lines, and then we'd have to do split systems and stuff. Then it gets a little bit more complicated. We'd rather just kind of water it all at once and be good with it. Right now, as you know, we're running off of the generator, but in the future, once we have property power for the cidery, we have our start relay and sprinkler system over here, and this will allow us to automate it. So this will be your standard like household sprinkler system that will use the start relay to pump or to turn the pump on and off. And that's about it. Works really good. We get a lot of water, a lot of pressure. When we first started hose irrigating, we had 4 of these 3/4-inch barb fittings out here, and all 4 had to have a hose, garden hose on them and running, or else this 100 PSI pressure relief valve would pop. And then we'd have to reset the system and start over. But we learned there's a lot of water and we gotta have somewhere to put it. 1 3/4-inch or even 2 3/4-inch hoses is not enough. This is a big pressure pump. And then the last thing that we really have set up is just our filter here. This prevents any of the debris from getting into the drip lines themselves and clogging those emitters. And then it just has our in PSI and out PSI. That's how we knew that the pressure was too high. The 80 to 90 PSI coming out of here, combined with every week we would have one of the quick connects pop off and it would be gushing water straight into the air. One time our neighbor let us know that we had a leak. We should probably check it out. But that's it. The 2-inch pipe should be full, so these emitter lines should fill up pretty quick. We should know right away if the leak is gone, which obviously we changed the line. So as long as the new line doesn't have any leaks and the connection joint is solid, we'll be good to go. Yeah, there's a little kink right there. Should be okay though. I mean, we had like 10 spools of this drip line and only 1 leaked at the end. That's pretty good. They were all kinked pretty bad towards the end of the lines, or the end of the spools rather. Hey, this is dripping.
Okay.
Give it a sec to reach full pressure.
I guess they drip that fast, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So fast. at it.
All in a day's work. Make sure our connection joint. Yep. Perfect. All right, guys, we're all set with this project. It was pretty easy, pretty quick. We had the materials on hand already, so that was no big deal. If you have any questions on what we did or our irrigation system in general, make sure to let us know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and remember, always follow your dreams.